Good morning, everyone. I think we're going to have a very, very exciting session today. And, all of us, first of all, thank you, India Food Forum, for having us here and giving us this opportunity to have this session. Yeah. We all know that in the last few years, we've seen many exciting new launches in food and grocery space. Yeah, and all of us have been part of the launches. Yeah, and what's more important, while we saw these launches were based on certain customer insights, emerging trends, right? But what's more interesting is we found out that the customer was ready for it. Yeah, we had a curious experimental customer who was willing to try new products and upgrade herself, right? So I think this is something which is a very encouraging trend for all of us. And I think we have a esteemed panel of retailers and brand owners who have actually played a very, very critical and important part in this journey, right? So here we have these stalwarts who will share their journey, their successes, their experiences, and I think this can be a good platform. This can be a good foundation for the learnings for the emerging or the new launches which are going to happen, from here on. So I think here we go. My friend Kabir is on the way. He should join us any moment. But I think we'll get started. So who goes first? Anybody from the brand side? So we would expect you guys to probably pick up an insight, an idea, or a success story. Probably take 60 seconds and take us through, take all the audience through your. Yeah, please. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Please.
Thanks. Hi, good morning all. I'm Sheshav Mittal, Director, Lovely Bake Studio. So I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Lovely Sweets and Bake Studio. We are one of the largest manufacturer, retailer and wholesaler of Indian sweets, bakery products out of Punjab, Jalandhar, with a manufacturing capacity of 40 tons of sweets and bakery products on daily basis. So we work closely with Reliance for many, many years, and I strongly feel that they are expert in terms of giving consumer insights, what consumer wants, and they understand the purchasing pattern really, really well. During our recent conversation with one of the Reliance team, so they want to develop the sweets category, and they want to sell the sweets throughout the year instead of selling only during Diwali or festival season. So to do that, they want to sell the miniature pack of mithai sweets near the cash till, throughout the year. So we discussed with them, and we've come to a new innovation within the category that will be selling 2 to 4 pieces of product in one pack, weigh about 50 to 100 grams, and the price point will be in the range of 49 to 99, right? So anybody who wants to, shop near the cash counter can immediately just pick up. Who used to pick up like the chocolates or the energy bar, now they have an option to pick Indian sweets also. So I think it's an amazing win for the retailer, brand, as well as for the consumer, because all of them can go really happy. Apart from that, I feel as an Indian entrepreneur, Reliance really support the entrepreneurs in doing better for the customers. So that this is one plan that we have with Reliance to go forward.
Thank you, Sheshav. While this was not about Reliance, incidentally, I feel very happy about it, but this was not about Reliance. This is about, we speak more about the industry, we speak more about the products and categories and all of that. So I think somebody from, I think.
So first of all, good morning, everyone. I am an entrepreneur based out of Ahmedabad. I am a founder of a supermarket chain which is called Hearty Mart, which is a franchisee-based supermarket in rural setup. There's an interesting insight I would like to share here, where we tried promoting and introducing a product in our store, which was in a semi-urban area. So now, whenever I used to go in a competing urban area, I would find a premium brown bread being sold there. But somehow that bread wasn't sold from my store. I mean, even if I had, they wouldn't purchase. So we came up with a unique idea of a breakfast corner where we bundled our premium bread with very well-known butter, jam, and cheese, and created an offering which was otherwise, if a consumer would purchase, it would cost him more. And by creating this corner, we pushed the product through our store, and then slowly that category was introduced. So this is what we did. The other thing is during demonetization, when cash was, so this is a crisis management which we tried doing there. When cash was not available, we came up with an ration card where the consumers would get a ration at a very economical cost. And even then we earned, because we tried pushing those products where we got more margins, not the popular products, but good products where we got more margin. Even consumers were happy because that was the crisis they were facing, and even we could push through various products. Yeah? So this is two things which we did and which we got success.
Thank you. I think it's a wonderful insight on creating customer convenience, right? And promoting the categories as well. So thank you so much. Who goes next? Yeah. Rahul, please.
Hi everyone, I'm Rahul Khandelwal, representing Godrej Consumer Products. So COVID has impacted different companies, different sectors in a very different manner. So while we know that it has changed the curve or basis for many companies, I think one thing which it did from the consumer angle was that it made consumers super conscious about their own surroundings, their indoors, what do they want in the house, what kind of stress levels they want or they are not able to manage with certain things. And what it also helped is that it increased the propensity of a consumer to check reviews online. And hence this entire phenomena of informed purchases or informed buyer actually rose up. And I was reading an article which was telling that the digital evolution in India has preponed by 4 to 5 years. Now what it did is that there is a category, air freshener, which is about, largely in India, air freshener is thought to be only for bathrooms, right? Have some better smell in the bathroom. However, internationally, the biggest format is living room, that people use good fragrance, they want good fragrance in the living room. We took that inside and we realized that people outside have been taking decisions. Of course, they are far more informative than our middle class consumer. So we got a particular product, which is an automatic air fragrance. It's called Airmatic. We partner with few of our accounts, okay, prepared a strategy in terms of how to drive penetration for it. The penetration for that particular product is only 2% in India, that's it. Which means, when I say it is household penetration, which means if there are 100 households in India, only 2 houses use any kind of freshener once in a year. So we picked that insight, prepared a product, prepared a compelling route to market strategy along with some of our accounts. And what we did is that we try to have a separate manpower inside the store communicating about the product benefit, usages. It's an expensive product on the face. It's a 569 MRP. But when explained well to people, what we realize as a consumer insight, that there are people who are shop owners, people who have smaller showrooms, people who have offices, and even people in the house. They don't want this entire hassle of whenever guest is coming, press the spray, if the fragrance is nice, not nice. They just want something to be automatically be on and fragrant the room in a better manner. By that economic logic, it works out very well for a consumer. Now what it did is that this particular brand was there in India for the last 3-4 years, very, very low in business, and it grew in 5 months. It became 10 times of its size. The only 2 things which happened was about communicating to consumer about the usage, how it can help ease their surroundings, make things better for them, and it worked out. And then when we recheck with our kind of reviews, which we get from online consumer, offline consumer, we see exactly mirroring the same, the kind of shift it came. So yeah, I think that's one thing which happened.
Thank you, Rahul. I think it's a wonderful story of category creation, right? But what's also important is, I think what he stressed, right? And I picked up the point is saying that, look, retailers and brand owners participated together to communicate to the customers, right? And used, retailer channels as marketing platforms, right? So I think together we co-create multiple categories, and that's good for the customers. That's good for everyone. Yeah. Okay. Please go. Yeah. Can we, possibly after you go, can we hear a story about packaging innovation, something which really differentiated, and anyone can go on this one.
So before that, I'm Aditya Tripathi. I have a brand called Cold Love Ice Cream. We are mainly in the north, mainly in Delhi and a couple of other northern cities. And I want to present a slightly contrarian story here. It's not a success story necessarily. We launched just before COVID. We launched in early January 2020. So you could say that our company is also a COVID baby. And obviously during COVID, retail, as we know it, was thrown on its head. So we actually grew in 2020 and 2021 without using modern retail at all. We used D2C, we had our own website, we worked with Zomato and Swiggy. And as a startup with limited budgets and limited bandwidth, we did speak to a couple of modern retailers, none of whom are on this panel today. But we found that the kind of conditions, the terms that were discussed were so restrictive and so difficult for a new brand, a young brand, that so far we have not used modern retail at all. Now, it is something that we recognize we will have to do at some point, but we have grown to a decent size in our own territory without modern retail. And maybe that's something that we can also think about and discuss, how young emerging brands can be supported more on this journey.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's a very good insight, right? But I think I would definitely want your experience to be better on this, and probably a few of us from the retailer side can actually take the next step towards helping them build this story in modern retail. Yeah, somebody from the retailer side, anyone? If you can share insight about how you created a category, or how you created an innovative marketing campaign, anything, I think that will really help.
Hi, I'm Koti from Ratndeep Retail. We are having 135 stores in Hyderabad, Bangalore and EP. So we have done a brand partnership with Marico. Recently, Marico has launched Saffola peanut butter, which is a niche category. So Marico and Ratndeep has partnered together, and we want to drive the penetration. So Saffola butter peanut butter is a category, very low penetrated category today, and today is not even 0.1% of penetration is also not there in the peanut butter. So we have partnered with Marico, and we have implemented a strategy. Like every castle we have placed 6 units of peanut butter, and shopper who is shopping 499 and above, we offered 50% off. So that normal our sale is a 600-700 unit has become 13,000 units. That has given 15 times volume growth, and overall category has grown by 50%. Though the penetration are not up to the mark, but it has reached to many households. Earlier it used to reach to 600 households, it has reached to 13,000 households. That is one of the success story which we implemented across all the stores. That has given a category growth as well as a penetration drive also. That is one of the success story which we have done it in recent past.
Thank you, Koti. I think it's very encouraging, because how a simple idea of just linking it to the bills and actually building a category, it's truly inspirational.
Actually, this is idea from my store CSA. So when we interacting our CSA, people are telling that how do we push this product? Sir, this one thing we can able to do this is every cashier can able to talk. That is give a multi-fold result, which has 600 units has become 13,000 units. That is by 15 times like volume growth. That is a phenomenal.
No, I completely agree with you that some of these store staffs have brilliant ideas, because they are closer to the customers. I
fully agree with you.
So, okay, who goes next? Okay, let's give it to the lady. Yeah, please.
Good morning, everybody. Here is another success story, and I am Anjal Gambhir from BLG International. with there is a paradigm shift in the consumer taste and preference, especially after the COVID phase. The youth have started showing inclination towards authentic Indian healthy food category. However, we all are pressed in time. So to cope up with the time, we had come up with the concept of instant coconut chutney and chutney base, which as a ready to eat, it really helps to save on time, and being without any artificial colors and preservative, being a very healthy choice for so many households. We did umpteen number of research and R&D, and finally launched 17 product category in this range. We see a lot of growth in this potential market in this area, because still now this segment has been very unorganized. There has been no brand which caters to all the it serves all the palates of the Indian market. So this instant chutneys, they serve the best at the breakfast table with all the coconut base. Then we add zinc in your every meal by adding to the garlic chutney and the groundnut chutney, which adds zinc to your meals. In over a span of 1 year, we were being able to reach to a target customer of 1 lakh retail and the modern trade outlets, which we plan to scale up to a 5 lakh by the next 2 years. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much. I think very, very insightful. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll, yeah, please.
Good morning. My name is Kirit Maganlal. We run the Maxon's chain of stores in Goa. Since we've got only 60 seconds to put forth our point of view, I'll read through a small text that I've made. And I would like to address not the innovations that we do, more of what is required in 3-tier city stores, because that's where actually the growth is happening today, and that's where the maximum challenges are being faced. So the first one, let me talk about the brands. What should the brands do in 3-tier markets that are there? Purely, I'll be speaking for 3-tier markets. Over here, the biggest challenge is the distribution network, which is quite unorganized, rather poorly aligned to the requirements of a state. More so for a chain of stores which has a larger network. So if you talk of Maxon's in Goa, today I think other than us, there is nobody else who's got over a dozen stores spread across north and south of the territory of Goa. It's a different story that a single store would give the kind of volumes that a brand requires. But a single store does not really give you the kind of visibility across the market that is there and that's available. And larger brands, I think it's very important that visibility in markets or on your shelves is of utmost and prime importance. Goa is a converging spot for all forms of people coming down across nationally and internationally. And hence, I think visibility is of prime importance to bigger brands. So the solution that I have is brands should talk directly to retail chains and ensure that the width and depth of their product are showcased. Goa being Goa again, and unfortunate for that, it does not boast of a very aggressive and industrious distribution channel, right? And that's where the brands would suffer if they are not available on shelves. We have a little bit of a B2B experience directly with manufacturers and brands. And the kind of response that we have got and the kind of success that we have achieved is very impressive when we talk about the brands. Point number 2 is for the retailers that exist in these kind of territories. Other than just being a point of sale area for products, organized retail has to show to the community that they are very environmentally conscious, and whatever retail does, the organized retail does, is sustainable for the community. So this also creates a very impressionable opinion in the eyes of the consuming public. Hence, sharing of best practices by large and medium brands to these 3-tier areas is extremely important, because this is a challenge that we face. We don't have the exposure to best practices on how sustainability and environment friendly conscious efforts can be taken. And you can talk about recycling of plastic, of the packaging products which the brands produce. You can talk about cycling of cans and glass bottles that are being distributed. How do you actually have reverse logistics and make sure that you create a sustainable environment-friendly impact on the community? And this is where we require brands to come out with the partnership and ideas on sustainability. And the last point is, we see at 3-tier cities that there is a large-scale competition that comes up from large players, right? And it becomes difficult, and it's a huge challenge for people like us in these kind of cities who cannot really compete on a price point with large-scale retailers. So I think it's very important that regional players, across territories, across states, come together and create a kind of a synergy. Understand best practices that happen across the state. So I've been seeing that there is some amazing work that is being done by upcoming retail chains, small formats, but upcoming retail chains in so many places across India. So why can't northeastern players, and I've got a friend sitting next to me who comes from Odisha, from west, from south, combine together their synergies, have some kind of mergers and start working together. Maxens is open to all these kind of ideas and all kind of these kind of thoughts. A simple example is we tied up with a chain for something that they are good at. So Captain Fresh from Bangalore, we tied up with them to supply fresh meats, fish, mutton, chicken across all our stores, because that's their strength, and we benefited a lot from these kind of alliances. So those are my 3 points.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Very good insights. I think, I'm a Goan, and I visited the stores, and they are fantastic stores. Very good assortment, very lively stores, and I must say that, I love the bebinka cake which I bought from your store, right? But thank you so much. I think you spoke about sustainability, you spoke about, retailers' responsibility and multiple points. Thank you so much for that, right? So, okay, so I think, no, we are not in a question and answer. We're just here to, probably share our views on, I think let's not digress from our subject. I think we are here with an idea, with an insight which has made a new launch or a product successful for us. I think so. Get back. So maybe I would invite Vipul. Vipul, you represent one organization which probably deals with the maximum categories in this thing. So maybe you can share one of your insights.
Thanks, Vallabh. So, I was just thinking about what many people said here, and I was actually comparing this with something that I had noticed when I visited a retailer outside India. And the first point of difference that you see when you visit a retailer in India versus a retailer outside India is the sheer amount of weight that food gets inside the store. The stores are actually, somewhere by the side you'll have something which is in home care and personal care, but the vast majority of the store is actually about foods. And the question that I was asking myself is, why is it so different there versus here? And by the way, this food is not fresh. I'm talking about packaged foods that take the vast majority of the store. And is it a problem that the retailers are not giving it enough focus, enough a square feet of space or number of shelves? Or is it a problem that we as manufacturers and brands are not bringing enough innovation to the table to get relevant products and categories that shoppers clearly want? And why is it that in some categories we have an advanced sort of status of innovations and categories available, and in something as important as foods we don't? And I think this is a great moment for us to put our heads together and discuss what's going wrong, or maybe in a positive frame of mind, how can we leverage the opportunity that's staring at us? And I'm certain that the answer lies on both sides. We as brands and manufacturers need to bring insights and benefits to consumers that's far beyond just the idea of here's one more variant of an existing category, a flavor, something like that. We have to think about how to provide benefits that are absolutely relevant We have the luxury of seeing how these categories are exploding outside India and bring those insights here. But we have to really bring benefit-focused new innovations. And yes, the retailers will have to also bet behind this in terms of, beyond a point, if we don't make it big in store, how is it ever going to find the shopper presence? So I think the onus is on both sides, but we must start by recognizing that we are barely scratching the opportunity, scratching the surface of this opportunity.
Absolutely, Vipul, thank you so much. I think it's very important. I think you made two very valid points. One is, how do we get some of the future foods or some of the categories to really, and when it comes from Unilever and when they speak about food, I really love what they speak, right? But I think what's critical for us is, as retailers, how do we support the brand manufacturers to really make grand success out of this these categories, right? And incidentally, I'll just give you a small quote. I saw Kishore Kumar in the previous thing presenting about premiumization in detergents, in laundry. Vipul in his earlier role has actually, it was the key pillar to build a premiumization in laundry category, right? So thank you, Vipul. And anyone, yeah, please go.
Hi, I'm Rajesh Agarwal from Gansham Supermarket, Hyderabad. I'm a chartered accountant by profession and a retailer by blood. We are a third generation retailer. Started as a grocery in 1950s by my grandfather, converted into a supermarket by my dad and his brother in 1989, and we are growing it up further, right now at 14 stores. So I'll just share an insight for categories of dry fruits. After COVID, we are able to see that the people have gone health conscious. And due to that, people are ready to spend money on dry fruits and other categories around. So due to which we are able to turn it into 3x of our sales, what we are doing earlier than that. So people are ready to spend money, but it's upon us how we dig it out from them. So just thank you.
Absolutely, and it's also the quality of the product which matters to them. The consumption has gone up multifold. So I think retailers have leveraged this trend very, very well, I must say.
Definitely, quality is the most important criteria for it, because without which can't sell the product.
Correct. Do we have a dry fruit manufacturer here amongst us? No, we don't. Okay, Saptarshi, here you go.
Thanks. Good morning, everyone. I'm Saptarshi from Abbott Nutrition. And just to expand on the point that Vipul was mentioning, we belong to the healthcare consumer space, and let me talk about one category, which is adult nutrition category. Okay, 9% penetration in India. If you look at some of those countries in Southeast Asia, size of population of some of our states are 3x to 4x in the category size. Okay. So hence, I think it's a big responsibility for the retailers and the brand partners to be more matured of moving ahead of just promotion and terms of trade into building categories which our consumers want. And of course, while we have so much of concern that raised out of COVID, but however, it has also given the Indian consumers and the Indian brands and retailers tremendous opportunities for building brands for the future. Okay, and there is where I think a tremendous amount of partnership or building brands should be there. Okay, and it should move out of just margins, okay, into differential activations and engagements, which helps us to really engage and build those brands for future. Okay, and there are a lot of examples. Okay, and we always tell, suppose diabetics category. Okay. We always talk about that India is the diabetic capital of the world. What is the retailer and the brands doing together in terms of giving that scientific communication about what are the challenges of this category, and hence what are the products and the innovations that they bring to the table, and build it, the brands build it through the retailers. So it's a very, I think we are in a stage of the consumer journey, and the opportunity that we have of building brands is much beyond, and we always talk about the word omni-channel now, okay, in terms of how you can build brand in store and then go out and reach out on a much larger platform of digital space that we operate on. And hence, I think this is the time where during our JVP discussions or during our various other brand building discussions, a large responsibility of building brands and categories is a responsibility of the retailer and the brand for our consumers. Okay, I think our consumers really deserve to have brands and portfolios which are innovations for future.
Okay, thanks, Saptarishi. So maybe can we have one idea from one of the retailers to really say that you picked up a brand, you picked up a partnership, you picked up an idea with someone and really scaled it up in a very innovative way? Yeah, please.
Hi, I'm Shravan Kumar from Hyderabad, Qmart. We are running 2 upmarket stores in Hyderabad. Without discounting a product, still we sell the product on MRP in this time where buy one get one offer is leading the market. And we partnered with Telangana government's initiative of VHub, where the women entrepreneurs, they incubate the, VHub is the organization which incubates the women entrepreneurs, and they train them, and they help them to create a product, come up with a product. They are creating the product, but they are not finding a space in the retail market. That's where we partnered with them and given a space, gave them a helping hand to place the product in a retail store. We have created a exclusive corner for them as VHub corner. Without any listing fees, we take that products and place that products in the store. And even with a discounted margin, we help them. That is what our initiative.
This is amazing. I think it's a very good gesture from your side, and I think it's a very, very nice this thing. I think a very big round of applause for him. Thank you so much. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Vallabh. I'm Preetham. I head the marketing for Continental Coffee. I kind of relate a lot of from Hyderabad, Retail Qmart, Ratnadeep. I would like to talk about 2 categories. One, and I agree with Mr. Vipul when the whole India will have to go on to the next stage. So when I'm saying coffee, we are still at the 4th wave of coffee. And since decades, coffee has not been evolved. It's only since last 2 years, because of, thanks to COVID, people started trying at home and consuming at home. In that, in 2018-19 is when we started a launch of a premix category. I'm sure people know that Nescafe has it or the brew has it, but the category has not gone beyond. In fact, Southeast Asia, the biggest category is the premix category. What is important about premix category? Because this doesn't have dairy whitener in it. Because milk solids is a shortage in every country except in India. But if you go on to North and Northeast, there's a shortage of milk solids. We have not explored the coffee in the way it is. So when we launched this brand called Continental, the category was there. We came up with an insight, why should a coffee be consumed at home or a flavored coffee to be consumed at a cafe? Why cannot a coffee be consumed when somebody is taking a break in his daily life, his or her daily life, going for a smoke? Why is he always thinking about a chai and not coffee? Which means there is subconsciously, there is a 10 rupees point which is there valid for every consumer. Can we give a coffee at that 10 rupees? That's when we launched Continental this at 10 rupees pack, which is a premix category in it, and I'm sure it has a lot of potential in it. Though, as Mr. Vipul is saying, that it is not about adding flavors, it is about creating categories. And I believe premix holds a lot more than what currently have. We do partner with retailers, and Ratnadeep, Qmart have been always there. But I guess for these categories, a larger association from the retail has to come in. This is from the first part, which is the coffee per category. And of course, we have to do, why should coffee be a snobbish, be category. It can be a mass category. Why is tea being consumed more, and why are we at the 4th wave, whereas US is landing at 7th wave? We are exporting. We are the 5th largest coffee country in the whole world, which means there are coffee consumption, which is coffee production happening in India. There are consumption happening. That is the way which COVID has shown us. It is just that we need to understand consumer behavior. And I think tapping onto the insight is very important. If you tap into the consumer insight, then only your product will click onto it. And I believe with this 10 rupees point, we are trying to make it at a mass level, targeting right away onto the tea category. I'm sure tea category itself is a big one, but with small steps, we can do it. On the second step, where we feel sustainability, as we were talking about it, on the sustainability, we all talk about it, and we have been living around, and people have been consuming shampoos, paraben shampoos, or paper plates, or you don't want to use animal cruelty products. On those fronts, we have actually come with a product called plant-based meat products, and I'm sure a lot of people here would be aware about what is plant-based meat product. And I think in this, the category is very niche. Category needs to be aware to the consumer. Again, their retailers has to collaborate with us to get the category to a larger set. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'll do a retailer first and then come to you, Savanth. Yeah? Okay. We have Anilji from Navjeevan.
We have 15 minutes, so we will allow people who have not spoken to now speak, and probably everybody can take their turn.
Yeah, but I think from what he was speaking, you will have insights on that.
Namaskar, Anil Kankriya, Navjeevan Plus, Jalgaon. Owners run supermarket, chain supermarket से हूँ मैं. दो बातों का एक्सपीरियंस मैं शेयर करूँगा. एक तो शेजवान चटनी और अचार. ट्रेडिशनली यानी जब मैं टेबल पे बैठा हूँ तो मैं अचार पसंद ज़्यादा करता हूँ, लेकिन मेरा बेटा और मेरी बहू वो शेजवान चटनी ज़्यादा पसंद करती है. तो एक दफ़े ये बताते हैं कि मैं बोला बेटा ये अचार अच्छा है, तो बोलते पापा आपने वो नहीं खाया है. ये जस्ट ट्राई एक हमारा डोसा वाला था सामने, शॉप के सामने, तो उसको ये हमने ये बताया कि भाई यार ये शेजवान चटनी आप स्टार्ट करो. तो वो जो स्टार्ट हो गया तो एक वो फेमस डोसा बन गया. तो ब्रांड को यानी चटनी को हम वहाँ तक कैसे ले जा सकते हैं उसका एक अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है. अभी हमने एक लेटेस्ट और ऐसा ट्राई किया कि हम लोग नाश्ते में पोहा बहुत चलता है. महाराष्ट्र में तो भी 80% नाश्ता हमारा पोहा से होता है. तो हमने जो पोहा का हमारा सेल्फ है उसके साइड में ही ओट्स का सेल्फ लगा दिया, और हमारा अब ओट्स का सेल्फ वो ओट्स का सेल डबल हो गया. तो ये सिर्फ हम लोगों को डाइवर्सिफिकेशन करना है, तो उससे हम कर सकते हैं. इसमें सिर्फ सपोर्ट लगता है तो जो ब्रांड का हम बेचते हैं, क्योंकि हम यहाँ पे हमारा प्राइवेट लेबल किल करते हैं और ब्रांड का सपोर्ट करते हैं, तो ब्रांड का वो हमको सपोर्ट होना चाहिए सेल के अंदर, और इजी लैंग्वेज में बात करना चाहिए. बहुत मैं ये देखता हूँ मेयोनीज बोलो या शेजवान चटनी बोलो, अभी भी ये नाम ऐसे है 3 टायर 4 टायर सिटी के लिए कि ये थोड़े से हेवी लगते हैं, और हमने सीधा बोला कि ये चटनी है तो वो बहुत इजी होता है. तो ये कम्युनिकेशन जो है हमारे ओर से वो जाना चाहिए, ऐसा मुझे लगता है. थैंक यू.
No, thank you, Anil ji. I think it's a very, very simple and very, very powerful insight, and I'm experiencing, as a retailer, I'm experiencing it myself, right? Because Szechuan chutney is one phenomenon where you take it to tier 2, tier 3, and people still love it there, right? So I think आपने बहुत अच्छे simple way में मतलब communicate करने की कोशिश की, and wonderful. I think it's a very powerful insight.
Yeah, Samat from Dabur. Yes, you've done a lot of innovations for the last 1 year. Your predecessor is also here, who I know well. And he and I have been cribbing that our bases are high because you launched a lot of things in COVID on a lighter note. But now tell us about what you've learned in the innovations thing.
Yeah, hi, good morning. Good morning to everyone. I think what we need to see and realize is that India, first of all, is a heterogeneous market. So you need to do innovations to grow. And we've got 6 major religions, 6,400 caste and subcaste, and some 28 states. If you have to win in different part of the country, you need to have different proposition, and not proposition from a product innovation perspective, from packaging, Vallabh mentioned about it, from pricing, making it more accessible to, premiumization is a secular trend, but there's an aspirational trend also. And you have to make sure that the product that you make is accessible to the larger part of the country. So, ensuring that we venture into new categories, giving a new meaning to D2C. We don't feel that D2C is only online play, direct to consumer. Though with online business, we'll clock almost 100 plus crores of turnover in just 1 year, and we have entered into 15 new categories. But I think D2C is a play wherein you can go close to consumer, go close to retailers, do collaborative tie-ups, building brands in stores, and that's what we are doing happily with Reliance also. And ensuring that you read their insights very carefully, you calibrate your product accordingly, and re-pitch and relaunch it till the time you don't get success. And in multiple categories, we have gained significant market shares. In multiple categories, we have given new meaning to existing business. Though Dabur ethos is health, but I think going to Sir's point, going and making sure that his son and daughter-in-law, they have a healthy quotient to the new, meaning and new formats is something I think we are trying, and we are making it happen. So we give huge cadence to the trends that we get from Reliance, from other retailers, and we have an innovation vertical within my team, e-commerce and modern trade team, and there are a couple of brand managers. Their full-time job is to read those trends, to ensure that we have new launches coming almost a month and making their life tough. So yeah, that's what we are doing.
I agree, Smarth, and I think we've seen Dabur being a front runner in terms of new innovation and launches and real good stuff, right? So he spoke about healthy things, healthy snacking, healthy options, right? So maybe when it comes to health, one brand which comes to our mind is Kellogg's. So maybe we ask Aditya to speak about his insight about.
Thanks, Vallabh, and good morning, everyone. As we all know that Kellogg's has been in the holy trinity space of health, taste, and convenience, and there's one category which I think is a classic example of a perfect partnership. And we collaborated with Reliance, which is our joint business partner. We did extensive work on both upsizing as well as premiumization. We have been able to double the category, and Kellogg's played a lead role in terms of driving the same. There is one example which I wanted to bring out here in the forum, which is our latest innovation around in the same category, muesli category, which is protein muesli. I don't know how many of you have tasted this in the morning, where we placed it on the breakfast counters. But we were not the front runners, and we were not the first movers in terms of getting into this space of protein muesli. But the insight which came in when we dug, that why is it not becoming so big, in this space? The insight which came from the consumers, and thanks to the partnership that we were able to get that insight, is that people were concerned about the source of protein. Yeah, source of protein, whether it is animal protein, whether it is what source, of protein is it, in the food. And secondly, it is the taste. When you add protein, protein supplements, it actually diminishes the taste, right? And that's the two things which we carried forward, and our R&D really came out with such a fantastic product of 100% plant protein. Right, and my request to every one of you, it would be there in today as well as tomorrow. Do taste this, do give us your feedback, valuable feedback, and lastly, all these innovations, innovations can come, they can die, but I think what takes it forward is the first is in the food category is the product, and second is the retailers partnership, right? I think if we get enough space, if we get enough shoppers, enough shoppers to sample. I think we really brands have a much larger role in terms of driving same store growth, right, through innovations. So that's about it. I wanted to talk about our latest innovation on the block, protein muesli.
Yeah, thanks. So I think we have 5 to 6 more minutes, and I will open this for people who have not spoken, right? I would request everyone to take probably around 45 seconds or so that more and more people can speak. Yeah. So it's a tough ask, but yeah, please.
Hi, I'm Abhinav from the new shop. So a couple of things that the new shop did well. First and foremost, we are India's largest omni-channel chain of retail convenience stores that work on a 24/7 model, which primarily means that while there is an online presence, we are giving customers physical touch points to actually see the product, how the product physically looks, choose what they want to buy, and probably have a better experience. What we've realized is the Generation Z now is not very brand loyal, they are experience loyal. So if you can provide them with a good experience at the store level, they are bound to become your repeat customers. Thirdly, we have a very innovative tech-based planogram approach where we have had enough data points over the last year to analyze what product sells with what kind HTG buys what products at what time. So we are in the process of converting it into 3 times, having certain products placed at the impulse at the correct time, which will be picked up by customers. And third is that we work with a lot of D2C brands. We push for Make in India products, and with these brands we leverage them to run their own sampling activities at our stores. It is not pushed by the new shop, but it is actually we sit together, we plan out how we can do the best possible sampling exercise to attract major customers. So these are a couple of good success stories that the new shop has managed to have. We've got stores at airports, we've got stores at railway stations.
My friend, can I invite someone else to probably, thank you.
Amitabh ji, go for it.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I am Amitabh Singh. I represent Patanjali Ayurved. One of the latest innovations which Patanjali has done is in the field of category of nutraceuticals. So we have recently launched the entire range of nutraceuticals, and that is basically our extension into this category. Most of the categories which we represent, over 45 categories we represent, are into health and wellness, and our positioning is also on the health and wellness side. So whether it is our multigrain atta or our rice, everything has an organic positioning. So nutraceutical is one vast category. Okay, and the consumer who's choosing for a nutraceutical product is very, very selective. So this range which Patanjali has recently launched is a pure plant-based nutraceutical range. It has a very high absorption rate, and it is very, very economical from a affordability perspective. So this is one category which is very promising, and I'm sure that with the kind of engagement levels which we have with our key retail chains, we should be able to do very well. So this is one category which holds a lot of promise for the consumer. So that's one from Patanjali.
Thanks. I think I would encourage the panel to speak more about a successful idea or a launch, not something which is recently getting launched. I think we all need to pick up something from what we have done, and I think pick up an innovation, pick up an idea, pick up an launch, pick up a marketing campaign, pick up an communication. Just pick up so that we hear from you your experiences about what's really worked for you, for the category, for the brand, right? Yeah, please.
Hi, my name is Azim. I'm from Odisha, MD of Metro Supermarket. We have currently 5 stores. 10 साल पहले जब मैंने स्टोर लॉन्च किया था, तब एक लोकल कंपनी थी वहाँ पे, रुचि स्पाइसेस करके, उन्होंने मॉडर्न ट्रेड में कुछ इनरोड्स नहीं किया था. 10 साल पहले when I was about to launch my store, they came to us and they said, this is how our negotiation happened. कि हम लोग तो एक ही व्यक्ति से अगर आप हमें सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे, कौन करेगा? At present, that company is dominating the masala category by more than 80%. in terms of international players, average and MPH are present. एक और चीज़ उनमें खास ये है कि उनकी टीम हर 6 महीने में they come to us, take our category sales mix report, do an analysis, and after 6 months they come up with some other product. जिस कैटेगरी का सेल्स मिक्स ज़्यादा होगा, they will come up with one new product and try to penetrate into that market. At present, they have launched a very challenging category, an item in a very challenging category, that is tea, and they are trying to launch a tea, and they are taking it.
Thanks. Can I request Gaurav ji to, yeah, come on. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Gaurav Gambhir, MD of Show Food Industry Private Limited. So, when we talk about innovation, I patent one innovation, which is India's first masala spray. Okay, and I will take this pointers because 45 seconds is left. And we do private label for hing, spices and seasoning for retailers. We are working with DMart since 8 years, Reliance, Spar, Spencer, more everything. And I'm very happy to be here. Thanks India Food Forum. Manufacturer, brand owner, retailer, it's totally win to win. So I believe C4 competition होना चाहिए, C4 होना चाहिए collaboration. So that's the way we all should go together. And all the best to all of you.
Wonderful. C4 collaboration is a wonderful message which Gaurav has given us. Can I request Vivek to share his insight?
Hi everyone, I represent Tata Consumer. So we call ourselves a very young FMCG, just 2.5 years. So I would not dwell on most of the innovations or because I mean we are a young company, we are doing lots and lots of things, most of modern retail. I would just want to stress on our basics, what we need to do right, whatever that we saw pre-COVID and what we are doing right now.
So I think so from a point of participation, right? Participation from a brand or giving the due weightage by the retailer, things move towards partnership. And what I would say, what is important and what we have seen as success formula is normally the joint ownership. From participation, partnership to joint ownership, which is extremely, extremely important wherever, I mean, whichever product line or whatever brands that you come up with. Second, I would just say that pick up regional champions. India, I mean, as most of the people also said that there's headroom for growth across. So we should have something regional. We should connect with most of the regional teams and ensure that what we do regionally is far more important in that particular region than what we do nationally. So that's important. I'm just moving away from giving some retailer more or giving some retailer less. I mean that is purely on the brand and the retailer difference. Probably just one more thing on pulses. Pulses, as we know, just like and we are a company that deals with tea, coffee, and staples. So they are for everyone who knows about food, they are quite opposite in the way that they behave. So pulses was one thing when we started 1.5 years back, 2 years back. This was something that we said that why can't we behave? Why can't we behave pulses as a way that we behave in PF or beverage or confectionery?
Vivek, I'm sorry, I will have to stop you because I think we have last 1 or 2 minutes left. I would encourage people who have not spoken here in this group. Yeah, please.
Hi, good morning. My name is Anand Nagarajan from Shakhari. Thank you all so much. In a room filled with stalwarts, I'm probably the newest kid on the block. Less than a year's experience in retail, so took a lot of copious notes. My only point is, we were counterintuitive as a startup when we started. We started actually in the first 6 months, we had more physical outlets than online. When everyone thought the D2C was the way to go, we actually went the other way. And our personal experience from there is that the immediate growth from what we saw from availability, visibility that physical retail was able to give us was absolutely fabulous. But in terms of spurts of growth, online does really, really well. Our ability to respond to data points online are great, right? And not to take a very quick name, but then there was a store in Hyderabad. We didn't even have operations in Hyderabad. That was one of our best performing stores. The issue that we always faced was the ability to come back and get data from there saying, why is this store doing well and how can we do more at that store? So my only ask and thought for the day today is for some of the regional chains and even the larger chains to think through speed of data to go back to brands so we could work. I mean, if we go back to an online retailer today, within a day they tell me, okay, here's your AOV, here's your click-through rate, here's your abandoned cart rate, here are the number of people who saw your brand. If we could get a similar data point at that speed, from physical retail, I think it's going to be a great win for even smaller brands like me to come in and work with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you. Anyone else who's not spoken in the group? I believe everybody has, right? So we have Siddharth Juneja, who's from Mondelez, and he wants to share his insight on snacking, right? I think an idea on snacking. Yeah, please.
Thank you. Well, and first of all, apologies for being a little late. Flights in India, I'm sorry. But quickly, not taking too much time, I want to quickly address the group. Whatever I could gather, thank you for all the insights. Quickly talking about the snacking piece, I think one association that we work together, and Wallabh's team have been a great partner in that. Snacking is about two pieces that we work together on. One is the right packs for the right formats, and the second is the availability reach, very similar to what we've been talking about together. And the two teams have worked together in building the right bundle packs in the higher hyper formats, while the smaller packs in the super formats, along with the expanded reach. And that's something that's really given us a lot of tremendous output. And so that's something, again, in a very nutshell, building the right packs for right formats has been a big driver for snacking for us together. And we look forward to do that together ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I didn't speak to him before he came here, so you can be rest assured that Reliance example was not plotted. Okay. Coming to, I think we had a very, very exciting session, and thank you all for contributing to, some great ideas, insights, stories, experiences. I think we look forward to, many more such ideas and experiences coming to the fore. And thank you so much for being here and being part of this panel. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.